So I have here some green coffee beans. These are unroasted coffee beans, and I'm going to attempt to roast them here in my cauldron. One advantage of getting the green beans is that they last a lot longer. Once you roast the beans, they kind of peak after 24 hours. That's when they're at their prime, and then they just get a little bit less good and less good every day. The green ones, on the other hand, you can keep for a lot longer, so it's kind of nice if you're going to be in a position where you can't readily get fresh beans. On the other hand, roasting them is a bit of a skill, and I am still at the beginning of the learning curve. So, let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is just measure out a couple servings worth. It's really hard to roast a tiny bit of beans. You have to have at least a little bit in there. So I'm going to start with, say, half a cup. And put it in here. It's been a while since I did this, so I'm not sure if it would have been better to preheat the pan or not, but we're just going to go for it and see. Maybe we'll do an experiment and next time I'll try it preheated. Maybe next time I remember to refresh myself on the instructions. So today I'm using the alcohol stove. This is cast iron, so in theory it would work on the induction burner that I normally use, but with the long legs there, it's going to be too far away from the cook surface to work. So since I brought this thing with me, might as well get some use out of it. So I do have a lid for this. I'm going to put the lid on because I need it to heat up, and it's pretty cold in there right now. So visually not much has happened yet. Some of the beans are starting to turn a little brown, but one of the first things you notice is actually the smell. It definitely goes through a whole lot of smell here, and actually we are seeing more color change here. It took me a while to maneuver the camera and lights into position. Definitely the first thing I noticed was a change in smell, and then now we're starting to see a change in color. I'm doing a pretty terrible job here because I got distracted by the camera, so you'll see some parts are burnt and a lot of them are still green. This is now the phase where I need to stir it, keep it moving around, and try to get some more even heating. Right now it almost smells like I'm at the movie theater or something. It's the next morning, and I got the beans here. I kind of think these things are probably way under roasted. The fact that I didn't get the first or second crack makes me highly suspicious. So I've got here my coffee grinder, and I'm going to give it a grind and see. I think this grind is a little fine, so I'm going to loosen up the grind here and get me something a little bit coarser. So this is the Hario grinder. This is the newer style, which has got the grind adjustment on the bottom here, which is nice. You don't have to disassemble the whole handle on the top. And it's also got this nice plastic lid so that your beans don't go flying all over the place when it jerks and then lets go. Alright, that was a tough grind, but I now have some ground coffee. I'm gonna brew a cup and we'll see how green it tastes. You can see I have a lot of bubbles on there. It's called the bloom. It's from all the off-gassing from the beans. Especially because the stuff was very freshly roasted, there's going to be a lot of off-gassing. If If you don't get any off-gassing, that's oftentimes a sign that your beans are a little bit on the old side. Now it's time for the real test. Is it drinkable? It's definitely a very green roast. It's not undrinkable, but I definitely think I would like to taste a little bit more of the roast. This is a little bit like drinking grass.